Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Bihagra Mahalla Panjama. There are 4 stanzas of 6 lines each, so we will go stanza by stanza. The first verse. Bihagra Mahalla Panjama, Khojat Sant Phirah, Prab Prani Adhare Ram, Taan Tan Kheen Bhaya, Bin Milat Pyare Ram, Prab Miloh Pyare, Maya Tare, Kar Daya Lad Laye Lijjai, Deh Naam Apna Japon Swami, Har Daras Pekhe Jijjai, Samarath Puran Sada Nehchal, ऊच अगम अपारे, बिनवंत नानक तार कृपा, मिलहो प्राण प्यारे. So this is a seeking, an asking, a plea. Guru Arjan begins by saying Khojat Sant Phirah. Sant here is a plural, applies to a devotee, a seeker. So the devotees seek the Prabh self, which is the source and support of their lives. So in other words, they are looking for the origin, Pran Adhare. And the Guru says, Tan Kheen Bhaya. They have been weakened by the pain of separation. Bin milat pyare Ram, tan kheen bhaya. It's not simply physical weakness. What it means is that there is a degradation that takes place. When you're cut off from your source, you shrivel up. And the ego is nothing more than the shriveling up of the spirit. You're cut off from the source and you become stagnant. And stagnant waters begin to smell. There's no movement. In other words, there's no creativity. So the true seeker is always looking for its source so that it can remain rejuvenated, vivified, and remain creative. And so the way that Guru Arjan is laying it out is through a plea. Prabh milo pyare, maya tare, please show mercy and come meet me. Lad laye lijjai, hold me close in your loving embrace. So this is a reaching out, a calling to the self, to that essence within us. And what is he asking for? Grant me the wisdom of the self. Grant me your wisdom. And how is that wisdom granted? Through virtue, through the cultivation of virtue, development of virtue. So the Guru is laying out what he is looking for. He is seeking the wisdom of the self to embody it as virtue in his life. And that would be living with that vision. Har daras pekhe jijjai. And so he's contrasting his own inability, his own limited strength, with that of the self who is all-powerful, perfect, eternal, unchanging. Samratha Purana Sada Nehchal, Uch Agam Apare. So essentially, it is also a hint to us that we ought to be reaching out for perfection in a sense. It's never to be attained, of course, but it's an aspiration. In other words, we have to continuously grow always looking to grow. And in the second verse, the Guru speaks about the various methods that he may have tried, speaking for us, really. So he says, Jap tap bart kine pekhan ko charna ram. I have performed meditations, austerities, and fasts. In my longing, pekhan ko charna ram. Yet, he says, the burning within me is never extinguished. Tapatana kathu buje. Why? Because I need to find that sanctuary within me from where the source of all my creativity springs. Bin Swami Sarnaram. So then again, there is a plea. Prabh Sarana Teri, I seek your refuge. And the ask is for the ropes that bind me. Kaat bedi, the chains that bind me, the limitations that bind me. This means the behavior patterns that we have established. Our neurosis, essentially, our ego, is the rope that binds us. And the Guru is saying, Kaat bedi, bedi is a boat, meaning the boat is tied. It cannot ferry across. It's helpless and devoid of virtue. Anath nirgun kashna jana, I know nothing. And the other appeal is, please do not weigh my merits and faults. Mera gun avgun na bichare. And then, of course, the plea continues. Deen Dayal Gopal Pritam Samarath, merciful master, the sustainer, Karan Karan, the all-powerful cause. So Nanak begs like a rain bird. Nanak chatrik har boond mange, just a speck, so I may find eternal life at your feet. Jap jiva har har charni. Eternal life simply means to rejuvenate yourself. Vivification. In the third verse, the Guru is guiding us and telling us that this is the direction to move in. If you recall, in the previous Shabad, he spoke about a pool, wisdom being equated with water. He comes back to that theme. Drink deeply, he says, from the pool of immortality. Hame sarovaro piyo, because it contains the wisdom of the self. Har har namaram. And here's the kicker. Do it in the company of the Sant Guru. Santa Sangha mile, then meditate upon that wisdom, because that wisdom is with the Sant. Jap, and then accomplish your goal. Puran Kamaram. And he says, by doing this, all tasks will be accomplished. Sabakam Puran. All sorrows will be dispelled. Dukha Bidaran. Because you become mindful. Har nimak manena bisare. You're constantly mindful. So, part of this is acting mindfully. And in that mindfulness lies eternal joy and bliss. Ananda, Anandana Sada. The bliss of having cultivated virtue. Sacha Garb Sarab Gun Jagdisaraya. And then again there is a description. He is infinite, exalted, and beyond comprehension. Aganat Uch Apar Thakur Agamajako Tama. Again, there's a pointer that we need to reach up, onward, expansion. And that is Nanak's humble prayer. Meri Ishapuran Mile Sri Rangarama, when I meet the self. In the last verse, Kai Kotak Jagaphala Sun Gavan Haro Ram. Har har naam japat kul sagle tare Ram. Many are those who have actually being rewarded because of this glorification of the self, because of this development that they have done of their personalities. So every time that someone goes through this personality transformation, they uplift humanity, kul sagale tare, because you become an example, you become an inspiration. And he describes what they look like. The one who has realized the self. In other words, one who is acting out of intuitive awareness of the self, who has tapped into his intuition, intuitive faculties, radiates divine beauty. Sohanta prani. And even that beauty is not describable. Taki mahima kitgana. Har bisar nahi pran pyare. The self is now enmeshed in that personality, and the mind is constantly seeking to expand itself. And the Guru says that when the Guru is found, Subh Divas Aayega, the auspicious moment arrives. The self embraces us. Kanthalaye Prabh Uch Agam Apare. So seek wisdom, and that wisdom will come to you through the Guru. And cultivate that wisdom and act out of wisdom so that what you do is for the benefit of the largest numbers. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.